Stock market analysis. Hello everyone. In this project, we are analyzing how news sentiment affects stock market movement. The main objective is to understand whether positive or negative news has any impact on stock price changes and to identify patterns using visualization. So first, let's talk about the data set. We are working with the data set of 1009 rows and 14 columns, which includes companies like Reliance, TCS, Infosys, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, and more. The important columns include date for time analysis, company, different stocks, article sentiment, sentiment of individual news, daily average sentiment per day, sentiment strength, intensity of sentiment, news count, number of news articles, price change for stock price movement, MFI for 5 days moving average, volatility for fluctuation in stock, and the last movement whether stock went up or down. Data processing and EDA. Before building the dashboard, we performed EDA, exploratory data analysis. In this step, we checked missing values and cleaned the data, identify outliers in price and sentiment, understood distribution of sentiment and stock movement. We also transformed the data, created daily average sentiment, calculated sentiment strength, applied log transformation on news count, generated moving average MFI for trend analysis. This transformation helped us build meaningful and interactive visualizations. We also used DAX, data analysis expressions, in Power BI. DAX is basically a formula language used to create calculated columns, create measures, build dynamic KPIs. Example, average sentiment, daily average sentiment, movement, classification using IF condition, aggregation like total news, average price changes. Now let's talk about filters. We have multiple filters like company filter, sentiment score slider, volatility slider, stock movement filter. These filters are connected to all visuals on the dashboard. So when we select a specific company, all graphs update accordingly. A sentiment range, only relevant data is shown. A movement type up or down. All charts reflect that selection. This makes the dashboard fully interactive. Now KPI cards. At the top we have KPI cards showing total records, average sentiment, average price change, positive percentage, negative percentage, and total average price change and total volatility. From this, we can quickly see sentiment is slightly positive overall, but price change is negative, meaning sentiment alone doesn't always drive price. Now let's talk about graphs, sentiment versus price change trend. This line graph shows sentiment trend versus price change over time. Sometimes sentiment and price move together, but in many cases they diverge. This shows that market behavior is influenced by more than just news sentiment. The next one is news count versus date. This bar chart shows how many news articles were published each day. Sudden spike in news count. This spike often align with major market events. The next one is company-wise average sentiment. This chart compares sentiment across companies. Some companies consistently have positive sentiment, other shows negative sentiment trends. Company-wise average price change. This shows how each company performed in terms of price. Some companies have strong negative returns. Even with positive sentiment, price can still fall. Movement classification. For this we have used donut chart. This shows percentage of up movement and down movement. Here we can see that there is this 37 are the down and the 91 are the down movements. Majority of movement are down, indicating bearish trend in dataset. The next one is sentiment strength versus movement rate. This graph shows how strong sentiment affects movement. Strong sentiment, positive or negative, leads to higher movement. Weak sentiment are less impacted. Next graph is company-wise news sentiment. This shows which companies get most idea attention. More popular companies have more news, but more news doesn't always mean better performance. The last one is price change versus moving average. This compare actual price change with moving average. Moving average smooths fluctuation, helps identify overall trend direction. So overall, from this dashboard, we can conclude news sentiment does influence stock movement, but not always directly. Market trends depend on multiple factors. High sentiment strength leads to stronger movement. Interactive dashboard helps in identifying patterns quickly. While the Power BI dashboard helps us explore historical patterns visually, it doesn't predict the future. So in the next phase of this project, we build machine learning model that actually predicts whether the stock will go up or down based on the sentiment and price trend. The objective here is to analyze the influence of news headlines on stock movement and then forecast the direction. We use sentiment features derived from financial news combined with historical price data. The model we selected is a random forest classifier as an ensemble method that builds multiple decision trees and combines their outputs for better accuracy and robustness. Why we use random forest? Because it handles non-linear relationships well, works with mixed data types, reduces overfitting, and gives us feature importance so we know which factor matters most. We split the data using an 80-20 stratified trend split. Stratification ensures that both up and down classes are balanced in training and testing, otherwise the model could become biased. AI stock prediction dashboard. Here we can select the company. So now here we are going to select one company, Axis Bank. Now here we have to click that button, fetch data and predict. Here it will fetch latest news related to that company, all latest news and the prediction results and the recent price trend. Here we can see the prediction result is that stock is down. Like for this news, stock is down. And here the last one is the graph that was showing the previous 5 days trend. The next one we will see Wipro. So there are the latest news for Wipro, and the prediction was the up. The for the Wipro, the prediction was up. So here in graph as well, we can see that the previous 5 day trend was going up and then down. Next, we can see for the Reliance company. Here we have selected Reliance Industries. So for Reliance Industries, the prediction result was negative. So this is all about our demo. Now let's see and go through the all codes. So this is our app.py file. Thank you. This was our stock market sentiment analysis dashboard and model. Thank you.